Bu makan ayam.
I also
And
have my front lighting, checked everything.
we
Hi,
can't see
morning,
you, Jerry.
afternoon.
I don't know what's happening with my thingy. Would you like to start, Blossom?
Wow. Okay, Jerry. Okay. Okay. I couldn't win that one because my first name is Blossom and my last name is Eze. So I guess, hi, I'm Blossom. I'm a Nigerian American. I'm based in Dallas, Texas. I work as a multi-industry strategist, I've worked across like tech, healthcare, life sciences. Currently, right now, I'm a CEO at an interior design firm called Hihos Atelier. And yeah, lovely to meet you.
Hi, I'm Jerry Winata, based in Indonesia. I joined this as a profession, at a personal level, because I do believe that I think there's so many like we Janine and I call this our baby initiative. So but it's a sort of like our little thing that we thought of, and then really excited to be a part of this. Because I've been on the receiving end of one of those young people who are like desperately need help, and a lot of people give me a helping hand. So what better way to kind of like pay it forward?
That's so
And
cool.
Jerry kick ass in karaoke. So yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll get started. Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And thank you so much for joining us at the Software Change Judges panel. Next slide, please. So my name is Elisha. I am the co-founder and also one of the judge at this software change program. And in today's panel, we will have about like 5 to 10 minutes of just getting to know you in the audience. We'll be using the chat feature here, and then we'll go into the panel discussion. That's where you're here for. We'll have a discussion for about like 25 to 35 minutes. Then we'll go to audience Q&A. So do get ready to get started in participating in the chat. Next slide. So for starters, I am so curious to see where are you joining us from? I'm seeing a lot of names that looks Indonesian, but where are you from? Use the chat feature that we have on Zoom. Tell us what cities are you from? Also, I can see your name, so please don't make me call you out by name. Let's all participate in the chat feature. Tell us where you're from. I might give you a prize for participating. Okay, just kidding. Okay, we have Abraham Jeremiah Kasim coming from Nigeria. Welcome. What time is it in Nigeria now? Is it in the morning or is it somewhere in the afternoon? I am not very awake at this moment, but thank you for joining us. Oh, we have another one for Nigeria. All right, Team Nigeria has two people now, and it's 1 p.m. That's perfect. So I hope you had your lunch, and because some of our team were having dinner earlier on. Right? Do we not have folks from Indonesia? Well, I mean, I don't. We have a very small room, so I can see everyone here. All right, finally we have one from Team Indonesia. I guess you're actually from Lombok. Okay, but now I don't know why I'm making it sound like
Yes.
it's a World Cup, like a competition, Nigeria versus Indonesia, but these two are our largest countries. So is there anyone not from Indonesia or Nigeria that have not like left a comment? Because I would love to see where you're coming from. Okay, nobody. So right, so we have Team Indonesia versus Nigeria for today, and it's great. All right, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, so this may be this is a little bit more difficult than which city you are from. I'm curious, so like let us know, are you thinking of submitting a proposal to software change? And if you are, where are you in the process? Are you currently in the ideation stage, coming up with an idea? Are you thinking more of like, how do I write a proposal? Or are you like, I'm done, I've submitted, I'm cool, I'm chill? Where are all of you in the stages of submitting to a proposal? Or you maybe you can say, I'm not convinced about this competition at all. I don't know how to participate. I might not end up submitting a proposal. Let us know in the chat. Again, I can see everyone's name. Don't make me call you out because this is like I'm Singaporean, so I have a lot of teacher energy here, gonna make sure that everyone passed the test. Ooh, we have no answer for that? Okay, everyone failed this test for now. Okay, so maybe you're not convinced. We'll have a little bit more time to chat a little later as well in the audience Q&A. So feel free to always use the chat. Oh, we have one, Abraham. Yes, you are my favorite student of the class today. So you've applied twice and wasn't selected. Currently curious if I will be granted. Okay, you are in the right place because you're hearing directly from the judges, and the judges are the people who are scoring the different proposals, submissions. So hopefully, you get more insights. We also have audience Q&A at the end of the session before we log off. So get ready with your pens and pencils and your fingers to type questions for us. Oh, also, we don't have to wait for audience Q&A before you start submitting questions. So as and when, while we're having a discussion with the judges, feel free to leave your comments, leave your questions in the chat, and we'll be able to get to that after that. But thank you so much, Abraham, for your support twice. And we'll hope to see you submit again. Okay, with that, uh, let's get started. The next slide, please. Let's bring on the judges. The judges, we all have this yellow background screen. And so you'll be able to identify who's from the team and also who are the judges. Also, their faces are right on screen right now. Okay, so we're gonna move on to oh, yes, I should introduce myself beyond just like moderator of today's panel. So I am, it's currently, I live in San Francisco, so it's currently 5 a.m. So if I sound a little bit incoherent, that's why. And, but in a few hours time, my day job, I'm actually a developer programs manager at Meta, and I've been there at the company for 10 years. My proudest moment is that I've survived 5 rounds of mass layoff. Thank you. Yay, yay. And for me, outside of Meta, I obviously like co-founded this initiative with Janine. Co-founder is also here. Maybe Janine, I know you're not a part of the panel per se, but maybe you should say hi to the audience. You know what? You want to say hi right now?
Hello, everyone. Excited to see you all.
Okay, a little bit more than actual hi. Tell us about, your involvement with software change, and also tell us a little bit about software education.
I think, we started Software Change because we know how hard it is to get somebody to believe in you, and we know how hard it is to, get some support for your different projects. And we have been so inspired by all of you, the different projects and ventures that you have shared with us. So we wanted to do in our little way to support what you do, and hopefully we can be very helpful to you. And we really look forward to hearing from all of you. And yeah, and we want to do better as well. So please keep your feedback coming.
Awesome. Welcome, Janine. And yeah, like for me, like what Janine said, I think there's a lot. We want to be a supportive, a forcing function to help all of your amazing ideas, because we do think that we don't live we live in only our communities or the communities that we exist of, but the world is so much bigger. And for us, it is important for us that we don't come in thinking that we know all of the solutions. We don't, right? And I think the best solution coming for serving the community has to come from the community itself. And our roles is to really be the win for your sale, right? To provide the support that you need to be able to make change in your communities. And that's where we are very excited to be here. And oh, I mean, a tiny fun tidbit about myself outside of everything that I do. I'm also a stand-up comedian. So that's like a little fun fact about myself. Okay. So we're gonna go around the room for the different judges to give a brief introduction about yourself and also your background with social impact work and why you're passionate and to be part of SFC. So do I have a volunteer? Otherwise, we're going to do it alphabetical order.
Might as well, since we're going to do it alphabetical order. I'll go first.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I am Blossom Eze. I'm Nigerian American from Nigeria. I'm from Imo State, and right here in the US, I'm based in Dallas, Texas. I'm a multi-industry strategist with experience in healthcare and in big tech, where I met Elisha at Meta. Currently, right now, I work as a COO for an global interior design firm called Hughes Atelier. I've been very interested in social impact work, and typically I do that through funding for United Mega Care, which is a humanitarian disaster relief arm of the Potter's House. But I decided to a judge here and fund here for Solve for Change, because again, like Janine and Elisha have shared, again, we're not in the society, in the community, so we don't have firsthand input and information on like what is going to be the most impactful thing to the community. So this mission here, which is to like empower those who are directly in the community, seeing the pain points, the true pain points felt in the community. This was one of the reasons why I decided to support Solve for Change. And I'm just excited because this is an opportunity, and like Solve for Change gives a first vote of confidence to, underserved and individuals and communities and people who have never had the chance to get funding and typically might not get funding through traditional routes. So I'm pretty excited to be here and looking forward to answering any questions and sharing more. And I'll pass it over to Jerry.
Hi, thank you so much, Blossom. And yeah, just like Blossom, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you, Janine, for inviting me to be part of this amazing initiative. She's and a bunch of other people are basically the brain behind this amazing initiative. I'm just tagging along for the ride. And so Jerry Winata, I'm Indonesian, born and raised. But at the moment, I've been given such a privilege to run as the CEO of a family philanthropic organization based in Singapore. It's quite simple, really. I mean, through the organization, through my work, I've seen the impact of young people and seemingly small initiatives can make such a huge difference. But even through independent family philanthropy organizations like what I'm leading, there's still a lot of process to be had. So it's still not 100% accessible in a way. We're trying to make it as accessible as we can. So I don't want to wait through work. I don't want to wait for the people to be involved. I've had an amazing privilege, as well as been blessed with so many people have helped me along the way. I would not have gotten to where I am without those people who believe in me when I was absolutely nothing to prove. So I know firsthand, I've been on the other end, how impactful that support, that believes when somebody gave it to you for your initiatives. And it's like Blossom rightfully says, oftentimes it's overlooked because of scale. That's not our first priority. Our first priority is willingness and grit. The willingness to try, to be daring enough to come up with these ideas and to actually put it on the paper and presented it in front of us. That's what we're looking for. Scale and impact and all that, that's what we're here for. That's what we are here to help. So I'm very excited to be able to give the same opportunity and support just like somebody gave me a long time ago. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Amazing. All right, Pierre. Now you have to follow what Jerry said. No pressure.
My name is Pierre, and I was born and raised in a small country in the middle of Europe called Belgium. But I've been living in Asia for over 15 years now. My background is in hospitality and real estate. And what got me in Soul for Change is after being surrounded by amazing social impact entrepreneurs like Janine and Jerry and Elisha. And at the same time, seeing through my travel and my work how entrepreneurship can change life and help communities when done right. I had the chance when I was younger to also have mentors along my professional career, and so Soul for Change allows me to kind of like give back and do some kind of like a full circle and bring everything into one opportunity, which is helping you today or tomorrow or next week. Who knows?
Or 2 weeks time. That's where the submissions deadline close to be specific. All right, cool. So Janine, 2 slides from here, please. Okay, we are going to hop in. Okay, we're gonna start with a moderately spicy question, then we'll go on to a very spicy question. But panelists, you talked about like Jerry talked about like willingness, about the grit, right? And Pierre, you talked about how people have really helped you out, and Blossom talked about how the experience that you currently already have. Based on all of your knowledge, what makes a proposal stand out from the crowd? Because how do you show grit? How do you show, of course, everyone who submitted a proposal are willing, right? Because it's proposal writing still requires some sort of energy into it. But judges, what do you think? What makes a proposal stand out? Anyone can speak, don't need wait to be pointed out. Maybe I do need to point a name. Okay, Jerry,
No,
go for it.
I'll go for it. What makes a proposal stand out from the crowd? I think originality. I know it's such a broad word, but sometimes kind of like overlooked. We see a lot of proposals, hundreds of proposals in our work, and we know when it's embellished. We know when it's not genuine. We know when it doesn't come from the heart. We know when you don't actually know these things, or doesn't really resonate with your heart. Like it does show. So I think by originality, you don't have to create like the next, meta or the next big thing, but what's important is it's authentic to you, it's authentic to what you believe in and your core beliefs that and it's relevant to the issue. Again, I think that's what for me what's make the process stand out. It's the relevance and as well as the authenticity to yourself, to you, not to everyone else. And so that's what I would be looking for anyway.
Just want to say that if any of you want to create the next meta, please go ahead. We're not stopping you.
Absolutely.
So for me, there are a few things that are important. The first one is I would say basic hygiene, which is audible audio, ideally some subtitles that goes along the audio, just in case I'm in a noisy environment or I'm not sure that I understood properly what the message was. And next, I think what's important is for the page to start with a strong hook and a reason for me to remain very engaged and go through your whole video. I'm a strong believer, and I'm sure that Elisha is the same in the power of jokes. So if you can hook me with a joke, I think that would be a good start. And what's also important is to, I think, end with a bang. and with a last sentence that I will carry with me throughout the rest of the day or the following of my week.
I love that,
Yeah,
coming back to the basics of can we even see your proposal, right? Like with the whole video submissions and also subtitles. I love that. So it's like so basic and simple, but so important. And sorry, Blossom, I talked over you. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say that Pierre and Jerry have already said it all, and I think like we all resonate with one another here. Similar to what Jerry had said, I think like for me the biggest thing would be the human element in this day and time, where of course there are a lot of tools to be utilized, tech tools with the AI tools and whatnot. Those do not substitute the human element; they just complement. And I'm looking to see where the human element is really visible, very clear. And that comes in like stuff like your personal story. Why does this resonate so much with you? Why is this such a distinct proposal from someone else's proposal? I think the human element is what sets that apart for me. And like similar to, of course, the basic hygiene that Pierre had mentioned as well. It's like you notice when folks don't, a proposal might not have one key pain point, and sometimes you see people hopping around with just like keywords and just prompters of like what they think would stick, as opposed to fixing one key pain point. And it shows when you're hovering around saying everything but nothing. I think it's really important to pinpoint that exact pain point. What is that one specific thing? Yes, there can be secondary pain points that you can solve, but what is the key pain point you're trying to solve as opposed to trying to solve everything? I think that is something like for me that I look out for in proposals that help proposals stand out. And when I look at some of the past winners and some of the proposals that resonated with me, I'm like, oh, okay, it's because they had like a key pain point and there was that human aspect. They told their story, why this was important to them. So I think that's something that I look for as well, in addition to all the other stuff that Jerry and Pierre have mentioned.
Yeah, and I love that. And it's also this also like +1 to Jerry's point on relevance and being original. And for me, because of my background of being a program manager for the last 10 years, I think I'm like, to me, standing out means a lot like higher, more of higher, like a requires more. Um, like for me, a proposal that truly stands out from the crowd, like immediately, is if there is some sort of chain impact. So, for example, one of the winning idea, the funded projects, maybe like 2 or 3 competitions ago, it was a initiative that teaches women in Indonesia how to repurpose cooking oil and make them into candles and household products and help them teach them the financial and some business skills to sell it. So in that case, it is targeting the environment aspect of repurposing waste, and it's also targeting financial independence in women. So it's almost like one idea, there's like some sort of chain impact that's targeting different verticals, which I know this goes counter to what Blossom's point is on being a very clear pinpoint. But that's the whole point of this panel discussion, right? We cannot all agree, because if we all agree, we'll just send out an email to all of you. But here, what we want to have a discussion. You hear from different point of views. So for me, a proposal that immediately stands out is if it's chain impact across different verticals and problem spaces. And another thing is around sustainability of the idea. Now, to be super clear, for software change, we're not expecting the participants to come out with like a 3 to 5 year plan roadmap right now. Because really what we want to support is people with the willingness and people with who are just passionate to start. And right, so the starting point is really important. So it's just that for me to make a proposal stand out more than others is also thinking about, okay, after this one iteration or one cycle of execution, what's next? it doesn't have to be a 3 to 5 year roadmap, but just think about, okay, how are you thinking about getting more resources or making sure there's some sort of momentum there that you can continue on in to make sure that your idea can iterate beyond just the one cycle that's funded. Okay, so here you sort of hear the panel talk about what does the proposal stand out from, like the very simple stuff of making sure that can we see you, can we hear you, do we understand your proposal, all the way to like maybe one pinpoint, multiple pinpoints, and just to also make sure that we the idea that you have, is it relevant, is it original? So now we're gonna move on to the next question, and this is what I think is the spicier question. Because when we talk about the proposal, we pretty much, I can chunk it out into 3 different categories in a proposal. Like your idea, we talk a lot about your execution plan. Have you thought through how to even bring your idea to reality? And also the team, how is it relevant to your own story, right? So there are different elements. And my question to the panelists is, which do you care most? And why? Is it a strong, interesting idea? Is it an execution plan where the team knows what they want to do? Is it the team itself with the strong background and skills? Advocate for tell us your opinion and also share why.
Okay, I start. So for me, the very first thing that I look at, it's the ID. And I'm trying to understand what the ID is trying to solve. But very quickly, I will move to the team. I want to understand if the team has the grit that will be needed to execute on the plan and make the ID to live. I want to understand whether the team is able to learn from mistakes that they will make along the way and learn from people around them. I want to see if the team has a unfair advantage as a team, as a group of people. And I also want to understand if the team has this ability to pivot, because most of the time the original ID will the final product or the final plan will look quite different from the original ID, because along the way you're gonna be learning, you're gonna be finding some new stuff that will force you to adjust the original ID.
Pierre, I'd like to dig in a little bit more. You talk about the team having an unfair advantage.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
I'm gonna try to put an example, right? If the project is something around sustainable farming, for example, right? But in the team, no one has ever been on a farm, I will be a little bit nervous. But if in the team there is the son or the daughter of a farmer, if in the team you also have someone who has a very strong and engaging social media profiles, and if in the team you also have someone who is very, very strong with numbers, with logic and reason, then I would deem that that team has unfair advantage and strong potential to succeed, because they tick multiple boxes that are, in my opinion, important to master in order to be successful.
Okay, but in out of the 3 options that I lay out here, you would say idea is the most important?
ID is the first filter. If the ID that is being paged is something that has a very limited impact, or something that already exists by the dozen in a specific area. I would want to see how that idea is different from what exists already, right? But again, the team is the most important, right? For me.
Right. Okay, Jerry, go for it.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a bit a tricky one, to be honest with you, because obviously it's all interconnected, right? Like Pierre said, but I'm gonna assume, I know it's not right to assume, but I'm gonna assume all the people who are invited to present, meaning they have good ideas, right? So let's use this as a base. Sure, some are more impactful than others, maybe some are more scalable than others and things like that. But if it's with me and I've applied it into my own organization, the caveat is I don't know how to apply it here. I hope I can apply it here, but I don't know if I can. Normally, when in the organization I work with, even before we invite anyone to submit a proposal, I want to get to know them. I'm investing in the person. I'm investing in the team. The ideas, execution, everything else is multiple. Everything is kind of like, that's why we also here for to kind of help them to shape that as well in a way as a mentor. But when I'm investing my time and my energy is to the people, to the team behind the idea. So I would choose team. I think for the reason also similar to what Pierre has laid out, right? Like everything that Pierre just mentioned about the team, about the makeup of the expertise and the skills that's relevant to the project presented is very important, of course. So that's more like the technical know-how and the knowledge. But I would go one step before that even. I'm invest in the team that is dare enough to show their authentic self. They're not trying to pretend. They're not trying to inflate themselves. They come with a genuine and authentic interest to create the change on the ground. They are honest and authentic about their vulnerability. And they can be vulnerable about what they don't know, about their limitations, and can be really vulnerable to share with us what it is they need help with. Because if they come and they said that they already know everything, then they don't really need us. But that's we're here to support. So I think that element of vulnerability as well as honestly and of course they have to come with certain knowledge and certain skill and certain expertise in the issue. We expected that in order for them to be able to create this idea and execution plan, but also we would like to invest in a team that is authentic, able to be vulnerable with what they need, what can support their need, and open to receiving those kind of like support.
Amazing. Blossom, are you also team, or do you have a different opinion? Because otherwise I want to dig in a little bit about the team here.
Yeah, I think I have a slightly different opinion, though I think it leads to team, but yeah.
Okay, perfect. I might be with you. Let's see. Okay, let's stay on the team for now. Right. I really like Pierre talk about different skill sets coming in. Does anyone have an unfair advantage in like domain expertise in certain in the field, or even just like other levers like social media influence and so on. And Jerry, you talk about being vulnerable and being authentic in them in communication and also like showing up, right? I'm curious. So I think what advice would you give to an individual, like a solo founder? Because would you actually recommend that this person, yeah, go do social media, go have domain expertise, go build a different skill sets, which may or maybe that's the best advice that you want to give to someone. And also because this also relates to vulnerability, right? Like maybe a solo founder would say, actually, I'm just one person. The things that I don't know is a lot more than the things that I do know, right? So how do you balance that, and what advice would you give to a solo founder?
Blossom, you want to take that?
I haven't even answered the question yet. So
Yeah, she's not on team. So Pierre and you, Jerry, you're on team. So
Okay,
take it a
I guess
little
it falls on us. Okay, this is how this works. Oh, I'm learning this now. Okay, so solo founders, it really depends. At the end of the day, it really depends on the needs as well. It depends on the project as well, on the ideas and the initiatives. I don't think that is a cookie cutter kind of like skill set or all those things that it needs to happen for every single project. So again, it needs to be case to case basis. I know it seems like a cop-out answer, but it needs to be like case to case basis or what is the actual project that they're trying to achieve and what to implement. I'll give you an example. So I was working at one point before this job, I was working in the middle of nowhere in Indonesia with really no electricity or barely enough electricity, very remote, very detached. And I was working on waste management. That's why Janine, I introduced myself as a garbage man at one point. So at this stage, when every time I showed up at an event of a conference talking about waste management, everyone was talking about high-tech solutions. Everyone was talking about introduction to technology. Everyone was talking about really different digital or technological kind of like intervention to solve it. None of it is relevant to where I am. So I think that kind of like approach and just not to have a cookie cutter best case approach to things, but it's more like it's not so much about the best solution, but more like the right solutions. So I think it's the same thing with skill set as well. It doesn't have to be like the best set of skills, but it's the right type of skills. And the right type of intervention and the right type of attitude, the right type because I don't think the best exists. I think it's just, it needs to be appropriate to the type of project that you want to execute, the location that you want to do it. So all that become the best or the most appropriate approach. So again, I know it sounds like a cop-up answer, but for a single founder, we need to assess its in its entirety, and it cannot just be kind of like a blanket kind of approach.
I love that. Pierre, you want to add your thoughts?
While there's nothing wrong with being a solo founder, I think that being solo founder is hard or harder, and being a founder is already hard. So I guess my advice would be find a co-founder. Because the having someone who shares the journey with you, someone you can bounce ideas with along the way, is going to make you a better founder, I think.
Awesome. All right. Okay. Great advice for solo founders. Blossom, what do you think? Idea execution team.
So I don't know if I can choose an option that isn't there, but I will, because why
Yeah, go
not?
for it.
I I would say for me, it's the synergy between all three that is the most important. And of course, that might lean more heavily towards the team, but I think like the synergy between the idea, the execution, and the team is most important. And I'll try to explain a little bit. I don't fish, but this was the analogy that came to mind when I was thinking about this. The idea is kind of like the bait for us judges. So we're like, that's our first point of entry. I think the fear said that it was the first point of entry. So it's the bait, right? And then the team is kind of the fishing rod. It has to be a stable fishing rod as well. And then the execution plan is kind of the hook. So if the team, the rod, is not steady, it's not going to hold the hook, it's not going to hold the execution plan, it's not going to hold the idea. That's the way I think about it as well. But at the same time, if the bait is not good, I won't bite. As a judge, I won't even look into the proposal if the idea is not good. And now, if we have a good team and the idea is good, but the execution plan seems iffy, GPT produce. I keep using GPT produce because it's a common theme nowadays in like competitions, education, or whatnot, to just like, Control C, Control V here. But if it doesn't seem like a feasible execution plan, despite how stacked the team seems and the idea seems stacked, it starts raising questions for me of like, with the team you have and the idea you have, how is this the execution plan for the stage of the project of your business that you're at right now? Of course, like we said, I'm not expecting folks to write a 10-year plan or 5-year plan, but it should seem feasible. It should show me that you've done stuff before, and based on that, that's where the execution plan is based out of your current knowledge or something. So that's why for me, I say like the synergy between all three is important, because if one is off, then it just like negatively impacts the entire proposal when we're reviewing it. So that's it for me. Yes.
Yeah, and I want to plus one to Blossom what you said about the execution plan, right? Like I'm on team execution plan. I agree that idea is just the hook, and but for me, I think the execution plan shows how the team thinks and how they work together. So just based on the execution plan, we can see, for me, I'll be able to see how the team thinks about different things. Like for example, if it's like a workshop to teach maybe 20 kids, right, youths, that idea is a simple idea, but in the execution will tell me how the team is thinking about it. For example, if it's going to be a workshop for 20 people, if the execution plan includes, renting out Ritz-Carlton, I'll be questioning like, I don't think this team knows how to do, resource planning, right? So for me, execution is important because is a signal to how the team works, right? So it goes on to like, have they thought about the little details in execution? Let's say we're back to the workshop example. Have they thought about, okay, we'll probably need to like get a venue. Can I get a venue sponsored by partnering with a school or a community, a co-working space, for example? Okay, who's going to be teaching the workshop? How do we recognize them? Maybe it's through a certification, maybe it's through some sort of swags. And how do we attract the students, the kids to come in? Right? Like what was it in for them? How do we gamify them and gamify the experience of learning? And also like how do we keep in touch with the participants post workshop? Is there any sort of engagement there? So I care about the little details in the execution plan because it tells me the team has really thought through it. And resource planning it allows me to know if the team is being realistic, right? Like again, 20 people workshop, why do you need Ritz-Carlton? Unless you can justify it in some like ways, then I'll open to be corrected, right? And so it's like how are they thinking about using the little resources for maximize impact? So that's for me, execution plan. It's a outcome of the team. That's why I think that's the most important. But I want to also just plus one to what Jerry and Pierre said, right? At the core, because all this is a spicy question because it all comes together, right? We can't really tear out one and say that that's truly the most important. Everything is sort of interplay there. At the heart of it, what I care about is investing in people, right? Because the first idea that you have, even if it's funded, may fail. I hope it's not a shock to anyone, right? So, and that's okay. I mean, that's why we're here to help you get started. And as you learn, we want to give you the confidence to fail and learn from failing and recover from that, because that helps you iterate. It helps you be better at executing. It helps you be better at spotting new ideas, original ideas, relevant ideas, and then if the team is willing, if they have the great qualities to persevere and continue to show grit, and eventually your execution plan will get stronger, eventually your idea will get tighter. And so that's why at the end, at the core of it, it's still the people, right? That's really important. Like, we want to support individuals where you are at, and in wherever you are in the world. Okay, we're actually a little bit out of time. So we have about like 12 minutes before we have to close it out. So if the audience have any questions, now is a good time to use the chat feature to add in your questions, because otherwise we'll continue to yap until we run out of time. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the last question. Might make it quick. And in the meantime, if anyone has a question, put it in the chat, because now is the right time to do it. Again, like, this is the first time that we have all the judges in the room. Not all, but most of the judges. I mean, no, half of the panel of judges in the room. So this is truly a rare chance for you to ask questions and really get to know us a little bit, and for us to know you a little bit more. So I'm just yapping a little bit more to get the team ready, to get the group ready to add some questions. But right, we're gonna go to Blossom. What do you have for us?
Yeah, I think for this one as well, a couple of ideas, but the main one I can think about is I would love to see the like sulfur change applicants and recipients kind of work together. I've seen a couple of similar ideas or similar in a similar field in kind of the same country, but different locations, or maybe different countries, but and I can't help but wonder, oh, what would be the impact of this entire body of like this proposal if it was combined, if people worked more together, if people use the power of community. And I think with Soul for Change, you can actually see all the recipients, all the folks, all the people who have applied. And I want to really like urge folks to kind of like think outside the box. You don't have to be the one with the idea. It doesn't have to be your plan. You can collaborate with people. And for me, that's just something that I sincerely, truly dream and hope to see someday. It's just like applicants or like folks who have applied for Soul for Change collaborating with each other to have a bigger, broader impact. So yes.
Oh, I love that. Like, merge forces. It solves a lot of problem that we discussed earlier on, like finding, like what Pierre mentioned, finding a co-founder to your idea. Because that could be interesting, like some sort of a get together or like idea sharing session.
I'm gonna break the rule a little bit if it's okay. If there's no questions so far, I'm gonna ask questions to one of the audience if it's all right.
Yeah,
Can
go
I
for it.
ask, can I to Abraham Jeremiah Kassim, now that you've hear a little bit about from the judge's perspective, can you share why do you think that your project is not selected? Is he still here? Oh,
I
you can.
let me check. But this is a hard question. Okay, Abraham is still my favorite student of the class today.
Yeah,
Okay. So maybe you want to start off
you
with
can.
like Abraham, maybe and also Jerry, maybe you want to start off with what is the idea? What is the proposal that you have submitted? If you're comfortable in sharing, we're not trying to put you on the spot here. If you feel like, maybe I'll pass,
Yeah,
let us know.
yeah,
And we
that's
can,
totally fine too.
yeah.
No, I just hope that you'll get better. I hope that these conversations give you better insights and kind of make you some light bulbs moment to make you think if there's any chance that, oh, maybe that's why maybe I haven't put that. So maybe this could be like a bit of a mini workshop for you just to kind of self-reflection as well. If you're comfortable, of course. I don't want to put you on the spot. You feel free to unmute yourself.
Abraham, would you like to unmute yourself or not?
No, maybe not. All right.
Well, type is also okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he might have just like walked away from the laptop a little bit.
Could be.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's right. Well,
Okay.
Pierre, do you want to say something?
I don't know if it's an idea that I would like to pitch to the audience per se, but I'm personally interested in youth and women empowerment related projects. I think that very often the old man in the room gets the attention of too many people, and I would like to do what I can to reverse that. So for me, anything that is initiated by youth and or women, I guess if it's a young woman, even better. I'm really interested.
I think I want to also reflect to what I think Elisha, you alluded to as well. I think I love the ideas of multiple effects or potential for multipliers as well. So one idea, whatever that might be, it could be like you said, circular economy. It could be something to do with waste or something to do with educating something. But if you can also, no, I wouldn't say prove, but maybe demonstrate the potential multipliers impact of this one idea and how it could sparkle or could potentially have a much bigger impact. You don't have to do every single thing, but if your idea can spark all that potential, for example, that would be something that I would love to see and consider as well. It's not saying that it shouldn't have a single focus, like Blossom said. It needs to be focused, but just have that like awareness as well as understanding of the potential of other impacts that it can unlock. You don't have to unlock it yourself, but this idea can allow people to do more impacts just because they were supported by your initial idea. I hope that makes sense. It's more like a catalyst, kind of like catalytic idea that can unlock other ideas. And I would just be mindful to not selling yourself short, to include that in your proposal. And you can claim that as well, that's kind of like the power of your idea. So don't be shy about that. Yeah.
I echo what you just mentioned, Jerry. There is a past recipient. It's called Soygu, and I hope that I pronounce it correctly. Which where the basic idea was to turn tempeh waste into a snack product. But that initiative had actually so many different layers. Top of my head, I can think of three, because it was one, creating economic empowerment. Two, it was creating a sense of community in the village where that initiative was taking place, because multiple women were gathering at the same time to actually produce the tempeh snack. And the third was education, because while they were gathering to produce the tempeh snack, they also took advantage of being together to learn, in that case, English together. And so for me, it was like a bingo. We were hitting three very important impact in one single project, and I really love that initiative.
Yeah, I just want to say +1 to all this as well. When I think about like one of the past applicants or winners, I think the name of the group was Cooperacy. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, about like farmers. They were working with farmers and they had an edbot AI and whatnot. Again, they started with that human element and they were trying to tackle, like, improve the livelihood of farmers was kind of the main pain point. And in there, as they're trying to do that, they educated the farmers on their soil to help them improve their farming techniques and their method, as well as educating them on budgeting and risk management. Because again, it's like you can't just improve the farming situation and leave the budget and hanging the finances as well. I think like that ripple effect is also like highly important. And to +1 here of like another idea that I would love to see as well to this is like, I'm very interested in personal finance. So like I would love to see like the personal finance aspect of things. That's why I think like I've seen a lot of ideas to have like income generation. I would like to see like ideas to take it a step further of like, how do we make sure that these folks who are now having more income are actually keeping that income and are saving it or investing it, like more financial literacy and knowledge. Because it's one thing to make more income, but it's actually another thing to actually keep more of that. So I think teaching that aspect, that last mile, to ensure that we're kind of having a full loop coverage of like that empowerment when you're like tackling like an income related income improvement or empowerment related proposal. That's something I would love to see more of. So yes.
I love that, and I also love money. So perfect, you're speaking to me. So it seems like we don't have any questions, so I might just wrap it. But like an idea that I want to pitch to the audience is that I think we heard a lot about team and a strong execution plan, original idea, like multiplier effect. And it may seem very daunting to a lot of our participants here, but so I just want to encourage you that maybe sometimes like the idea that it just makes sense, so simple to you. To us, is innovative. Like a personal example was the idea that we funded. I think it might be the first competition last year. So it's around bringing digital education to remote villages in Nigeria. If you ask me, from my perspective, how do we bring digital education to remote villages? I'm thinking about, oh, we need all of like the data pipeline, like the wires, we need electricity and a bunch of different things. And then I just get overwhelmed, like, oh, we'll never be able to do that. This is an idea that can never happen in my lifetime. But there was an idea, there was a proposal that was eventually funded. The solution is so simple. This person just built like a little box of us with solar panels on it that charges a bunch of different tablets. So when he's in Lagos, he'll just be loading up all of the tablets with digital content. He just put everything in the box, drag the box out to remote villages, and like those tablets can be used as long as they want to, because it's all charged by solar power. It's such a simple solution to a very complex problem, and to me that was amazing because it taught me that what was possible, right? We don't need heavy infrastructure. Sometimes an idea is so simple and so local. And so I want to encourage all of you to, just in case you feel super overwhelmed with like all of the different vectors, sometimes just lean into what you know, who you are. And because because I guess I'll speak for our judges, like we believe in you, in your knowledge and your passion for your community, and that's what we're here to support. Okay, so we are actually a minute past time. It seems like we still don't have any questions. Just going to do a last call. 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Right. So we don't have any questions, but thank you all so much for joining us today, and I hope this was helpful to hear from the judges themselves and what we care about, what we're really excited to hear more, and also and for me it's also to reiterate our commitment to support you in doing good and supporting and making an impact in your community. So. Heiko just sent a application reminder. Our registration closed on 15th of August, so we have 2 weeks time, and there are already resources. Like I think 2 weeks ago, or is it last week, we had another panel discussion with past funded projects, so you can hear directly from the co-founders on how they come up with the different ideas. There's also a short clip on how do you write a proposal. So maybe we can just email all of them to the attendees for today's session. Okay, if you want more time with us, you have to do a feedback survey. This survey is super quick. Oh, Abraham is back. Yay. Great. So fill out a little survey on whether you found this panel to be helpful. And in this survey form, there's also a question that will ask for your interest to book a little session with us. This is where you can get individual feedback on your proposal itself. So we'll be sitting down with you like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go through and give you feedback on your proposal before you send it in. So this is new and we want to see if it's valuable for the audience, if it's going to be helpful. So let us know by filling out the survey. Okay, great. So I think that's all the closing announcements that I have. Any last minute questions, comments, feedback? I hope this was helpful for you in your time. Or judges, do you want to do a quick, one sentence, a farewell message for the participants? Okay, I just spring
Sure.
it on you. Okay.
Sure. I would say Elisha already plugged in the last panel that we had with the founders. Please do watch it. They have such nuggets of knowledge to share. One of the things that one of the founders there said that really stuck with me when I watched it was like, never lose sight of the problem you're trying to solve for and the people you're trying to impact. If that is the center and core of everything you're doing, everything else would flow. So I just want to reiterate that. Do the work, believe in your idea. We can tell when people believe in their ideas and when they don't believe in their ideas. Believe in your idea because, again, you're the first vote of confidence for your idea. So you have to believe in your idea. That's all I have.
Amazing. Jerry, Pierre, you want to chime in?
Just go for it.
Wait.
Yeah, Jerry, we can hear you.
Oh, I think I'm somehow lose you guys. I can't see anything. Sorry.
But we can see and hear
Okay,
you.
I'm back. Okay. One idea. Yeah, I think Pierre summed it up very well. Just go for it. Again, there's no such thing as silly idea. It's just its improvement. So if there's no such thing as small idea. So I think you just need to believe in your idea, and we're here to help. So that use us.
Amazing. And yeah, plus one to all, everything the judges have said, just as the great Nike has said, just do it. Submitting a proposal is free, and who knows what might happen out that. So don't hold yourself back. We're here to support you with the office hour, a bunch of different resources. So just do it. Just do it.
If I can just add, I think Abraham has always been there, but I know that many of you are a bit intimidated by judges. So I have to say that I hope today you can see everybody here and we're not scary, okay? So we are friendly people. So we're probably the most friendly judges you'll ever find. So we're here for you, and all the best for everybody as well. Yeah.
I disagree.
Okay,
I'm
see?
very scary. Can you not
See,
see?
when you are friendly, see Abraham has a thumbs up. So Jerry was putting him on the spot. It's scary, right?
Sorry.
All right, back
Okay,
to
and
you.
with that, Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope this was fun and also
Oh,
meaningful and
we
informative for
actually have a
you.
question, but I don't
We
know
have a
whether we
question.
have time for it.
Yeah, we are out of time, so let's see.
Mm.
The kind of judges, do you need to run off?
Yeah. Yeah. If there's anybody who needs to run off, please feel free to. But we do have a question from
Yeah.
Arsian, founder of this Kampong Digital Air Itam, a community-based initiative from Air Itam village, South Sumatra, Indonesia. So Kampong Digital Air Itam was created with a simple vision to bring digital knowledge and opportunities closer to rural communities. So the question is, from your perspective, how important is it to connect technology education with local culture and everyday life when developing digital skills among children in rural communities? Who would like to take this?
Somebody who's in tech, maybe?
Oh, I'm like, oh, I feel
Right?
nice.
Wow, Jerry. Okay.
Well, like, I can take this. I mean, like I definitely come in with a biased perspective because my entire career is in tech, and I think tech is an enabler, right? Tech allows me to do something, right? And for me, I'm not like use tech for the purpose of tech. Tech is something to support a larger picture, right? But the thing is that technology, um, there's no escape technology. Even technology itself, we can segment it, right? Like AI is coming, everyone better get ready. But that's like a little bit into the rabbit hole. So to answer your question, I think it's really important, but make sure that technology is used as a way to get to an end, not just like technology for the sake of technology.
You see, you can be nice, Elisha. You were scary.
Jerry.
Let me go back to
You
being
said
mean
that
now.
so nicely. I was gonna say that +1 there, but I was gonna say from a different aspect. I think in this situation, this is what we're actually looking for you to answer. As a judges, we have our global and our different perspectives of what could be important. But this is where we kind of hammer down on that human aspect, the authenticity of your idea. It's like, why is this important to you? Why is this important to your community? What makes the difference? And that's not something as a judge that I can tell you why it's important. You have to convince me that this is important to your community. So for someone else, I think some other people who've had similar ideas, they're like, okay, this is gonna empower for example, I think I keep using a comparison, like this is gonna empower the farmers to understand their soil, understand their budgeting, understand the finance. That's that human aspect that me from the far away, I might not have been able to detail those very finite details because I'm not in the community, but you as a member of the community can share that information. So like Elisha said, tech is just a tool. It's just a resource. We'll be looking, of course, to see how well you put the resource in your execution plan and your idea. But at the core of it is like, what is that human pain point you're trying to solve? Like, what is that human story? And that is something that unique that only you as the founder can share. So wanted to add that.
Yeah, I guess for me, I think that obviously developing digital skills is really important, right? But I really want to circle back to Jerry's point earlier because out of all the fancy, in the conference that he attended, out of all the fancy, technological advanced waste management systems, right? His simple idea stood out because it is practical, it solves the problem, and it's effective, and it's very local culture aware, right? Yeah, right, Jerry, if you want to like
Let's have the non-tech people chime in now then.
I know. I think +1 to all of that. I mean, yes, it's a tool. I mean, absolutely. I will take a stand on this one. I think the local culture, you cannot avoid the local culture to be the centerpiece of what you do. I guess my question is, what is the purpose behind adding these digital skills? Is it to enrich them, or is it to replace the beautiful local culture, or to compete or to ruin it, right? I think that part needs to be very clear. To enrich and to support and to make sure that the local culture thrive using digital technology and skills, absolutely. But if the whole idea is to introduce these digital skills to make them more detached from one another and lose that kind of like community, then you might want to ask a second layer of questions. What would be the benefit of that, right? Like, so I'm not gonna be the judge of saying that it's the right thing or the wrong thing, but I would challenge to ask another questions to what is the actual purpose of introducing that? What is the goal we're trying to achieve? And if that digital intervention, how far can we go to make sure we don't lose sight of the goal and the purpose? Does that help from the non-tech person perspective?
Yes, you pass. Pierre?
Well,
I think I have nothing more valuable to add to the two sides of the tech and non-tech have already commented.
Awesome. But I love this question. This is such a good question. And it's very thoughtful, it's very insightful. What a great way to end this panel discussion. And it was completely worth extending time for us. Thank you so much for adding that question. Okay, and now we're closing for real, for real. Okay, so the QR code is still on screen. So I'd love to hear from your feedback on how do you find this panel? Should we do more such panels? And also if having a office hour to hear directly from the judges on your ideas is going to be helpful for you. So check the QR code. And with that, thank you so much for joining. Everyone, have a good rest of the week ahead. Thank you and see you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.